Lord, 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 Lord. Hey, hi, how are ya? Stephanie Stallworth, ATL Traffic Lady, here on HowWeFlow.Today-TV. It's our community centered on self-care, wellness, the art of well-being, being your best self, transforming into your best self, living the life of your dreams, which is the life that God destined for you, and living it well and happily so. Happy Sunday to you. It's Sunday, July 21st already, 2024. And yeah, we've been doing this about a week or so. We have been here in these HowWeFlow.Today-TV videos for about a year. We're coming up on a year here in the July, early August. And boy, your transformation has been remarkable. It's inexplicable to the people who've known you forever. Like, what is going on with them? And I am so very proud of you, okay? Let it be known. Shout it from the rooftops. What? What are you doing over there? Now, I mean, you've come so far. Lord brought you too far. He brought you this far not to leave you now. So don't leave your healing now. You come too far to leave it. You got to take them last steps, all right? You understand me? The training wheels are off is the name of this video. With Stephanie Stallworth, your ATL Traffic Lady on HowWeFlow.Today-TV. The training wheels are off, baby. I got to take the training wheels off. Who knows how to ride a bike? Who's learned how to ride a bike? Most of us have. Not everybody. Sometimes people never learned how to ride a bike. But guess what? If you did, you were trained on how to ride a bike in one of several ways, I'm so sure. You either get up there and figure it out yourself, fall and get up, or your parent or someone is guiding you carefully by holding the back of the seat, holding you up on the back of the bike, running behind you until you catch your balance, and then you keep it moving. Or some other way, goodness knows, right? The determination to ride a bike comes from seeing all your other friends riding a bike, and you want to be like them and do what they do. Like, I want that freedom. What? Looks so fun. Same as getting on skates. Same as driving a car. Same as living the life of your dreams. So there's training in all of those things, including in living the life of your dreams, because our mindsets, our frames of reference, our personal constructs, our societal norms, our familial norms and requirements all need to be unlearned sometimes in order to learn things that's the best benefit for yourself, right? And, that's kind of where we are. That's where we are. Not kind of where we are. It's exactly where we are. That's where we are today on July 21st, 2024. So I've seen enough to know that I have seen too much. What did that boxer said? No mas, no mas. Like, no more. I can't take no more myself, I don't want to do no more sobbing, no more feeling broken, heartbroken. I want no more of that. I'm done. I'll be trying to train people and help them, and I'm hoping that you're helped. And then the trainer needs a break, right? The trainer needs someone to train them or love on them, remind them who they are. That's incredible. Edna Mode. She said, and remind him who you are. You got to remind people who you are. First, you got to remind yourself who you are. Then you remind people who you are. You understand? I'm talking about me, and I'm talking about you. Come on with the reminders. We need the reminders and notifications. Let me notify you again of who I am so y'all don't forget. God don't play about me or his destiny for me. And he don't play about you and his destiny for you. So whether others are trying to thwart it or you're trying to thwart your own great destiny, it's to no avail. Because what God is doing cannot be stopped. Again, it can be slowed down, but it can't be stopped. So for all you happiness haters, all you destiny swappers, all you people who use spell work, witchcraft, dark magic, whatever that's called, all those things that y'all do, send an evil eye across sanctuary spaces, getting propped up with your evilness because no one could possibly believe you're capable of such dastardly deeds. Trixie. This Trixie, the sister in Speed Racer. Hey, Trixie. I'm going to call you Trixie now. Let's call you Tricking Head. I'm going to call you Trixie. Trixie. Hey, Trixie. Hey, Chim Chim. Speed Racer and Racer X. Oh, Lord. I forgot little brother's name. They was always into some doggone mess. Trixie always propped up looking so cute. We never really got into her character, who she really was. Because people can't believe she'd be capable of such terrible things. I'm not saying Trixie in Speed Racer is capable, but I'm saying Trixie that I'm talking about is fully capable. Oh, me? I would never do such things, is what she tells people, and they believe her. But not for much longer. Because the mask fell off enough. Enough things are no longer adding up. Enough people that Trixie recruited are no longer on her side. They're beginning to understand what the truth really is and hear it finally and see it for their own selves. I've seen it with my own eyes, right? Or I don't have to see it, but I know it's coming. I know it's coming. It don't look like it, but I know it's coming. So all the propped up PR shots and the, I know you're not asking to do that. I know Trixie is trying to get you to do those things. Again, just for a social climb. I told you that, just for a climb. Just because they love how things look. But they're not really in it for the heart, right? They're in it for what they can get, how it can look, and what that can get them. They're in it with you for the proximity, for the access. Access to all kinds of places that they aren't even up to. They don't belong there. They're a whole... Sometimes it starts with a B, but I don't call it a B, but I'm going to call it a W. They're a whole W. They're a whole trickster. They're a whole Lucy, a whole speller, a whole dark magic person, right? I don't know who they serving, but it ain't the true and living God, Jesus the Christ. But they act like it. And because you placed them in a place, everyone believes that's who they serve, but it's not. I think you're understanding this by now, or you're getting inklings of it, but you can't believe it. So you're not believing it, so you're doing nothing about it. But the training wheels, it's time to take the training wheels off. They're off. I trained for a year to help you all on this whole leveling up thing, coming out that dirty behind kiddie pool. And if you still staying in it, I don't even know what to say. The training wheels are off. You're either going to fall down on that bike or you're going to ride into the sunset. What you going to do? You going to ride? Oh, you going to ride the rails? Or you just going to melt in the corner? I always got a story. So growing up, my kiddos, hashtag my three sons, they were all into trains. They all went through their train season with Thomas the Tank Engine. I was talking about Thomas and the Magic Railroad and the key to the source of the gold dust. That's from the Thomas and the Magic Railroad movie, where Lady, she's the key to the source of the magic gold dust that gets them to travel into all the spaces they need to travel into. The Shining Time Station, into the island of Sodor, where Thomas trains exist and talk, etc., etc., etc. But they love the train. And so we made sure they had all kind of Thomas stuff, all the new Thomas stuff that came out, all the great Thomas movies, all the great Thomas shows, all the great Thomas videos at that time, VHS or DVDs eventually. All the Thomas kits that matched up with the movies and the shows, right? It was Thomas's, what was his name? Sir Topham Hatt, who was in charge of the railway. Thomas had done something to Stanley because he got a little jelly about what was happening for Stanley. Stanley was getting some prominence that Thomas, Trixie, didn't want them to have, or they were getting, Stanley was getting noticed. Stanley was new. He was getting noticed by Sir Topham Hatt, the director of the railway. And Thomas, who I'll call Trixie in this moment, didn't like that. So Thomas / Trixie tried to set up Stanley / your person, your real person, not your fake person, and tried to mess up Stanley. So Sir Topham Hatt put Thomas / Trixie on the back burner while he dealt with Stanley, your person, right? And so while you dealt with your person, you put Trixie, Thomas on the back burner. And Trixie's mad, Thomas upset. Thomas is burning, steaming. In fact, he's a steam engine. He's a steamy. Thomas was steaming mad. Trixie's steaming mad. So what does Thomas / Trixie want to do? I want to get back at that doggone Stanley. You're a real person. You're a real person. Stanley. My name's Stephanie. Stanley. STST. Get back at ST. I'm going to sabotage them. I'm going to thwart their efforts. I'm going to mess up this union between Sir Topham Hatt and the new Stanley that he loves so much at any cost. I'll do anything to stop it. So Thomas was usually, in the Thomas show, we like Thomas, but in this case, Thomas was dirty, down low, dirty deeding person, dirty deeding train, Trixie, tricking head, tricking all the time, right? So Thomas was told by Sir Topham Hatt, Trixie was told by you to shunt some freight cars for Stanley, your person. So that meant he had to line up a bunch of freight cars in the rail yard and put them onto the back of Stanley as an engine. But he wasn't supposed to do too many because Stanley could only handle a certain load. He's only created for a certain load. And Thomas wanted to pile so many freight cars on the Stanley, so many lives and fully loaded cars of baloney. I almost said the C word. The rap word with a C. So many piles of lies and freight cars full of illusions and spells and trickery and devious behavior and projecting onto Stanley that he got his own self into trouble. Thomas got his own self into trouble. Why? Because he was jelly. He didn't want Sir Topham Hatt to like Stanley at any cost. Sir Topham Hatt was very fond of Stanley, the ST. And so when Thomas was told to shunt these freight cars for Stanley, it's like, I'll show him. I don't want to shunt any car. I don't do anything for Stanley, for the ST person. How dare he tell me to do that? All right, I'm going to shunt these freight cars. He shunted too many freight cars. He put too many freight cars back to back, coupled together for Stanley to pull. And Stanley was only created to pull a certain number of whatever, certain weight or whatever, however they determine that. So when Thomas shunted these cars for Stanley and got them coupled to Stanley couldn't handle the weight of all that dark and evil intention because Stanley's not created like that. And Stanley lost control of the cars, and Stanley, with the weight, they crashed or something like that. And boy, Sir Topham Hatt, he was so ready to blow his top at Thomas, Trixie. Sir Topham Hatt, you should be so ready to blow your stack at Thomas / Trixie because all that they did to weigh down and to sabotage Stanley, your ST person, right? So Sir Topham Hatt, after Stanley crashed because of what Thomas Trixie did, Sir Topham Hatt, you said, as you should say, to Trixie, Thomas, Sir Topham Hatt, Thomas. My kids and I, we always do these either lyrics from songs or we do these movie lines, movie script lines, right? So he said, Thomas, why did you shunt so many freight cars for Stanley? He was so mad. We never hear Sir Topham Hatt that mad at Thomas. You're Sir Topham Hatt. Trixie is Thomas. You need to be mad with Trixie right about now. Trixie, why did you put so much in the way of my connection with Stanley? Or your ST person, your person. Because they did. And it caused a whole catastrophe. Lateral damage was huge. Beyond what Thomas could have ever imagined. And now who's in trouble? Not Stanley for not being able to shunt those freight cars properly. Thomas, Trixie's in trouble with Sir Topham Hatt you for all the things that they threw on top of your ST person Stanley, right? Thomas! I mean, he was so mad. He was so mad. You know, when you're so mad, you just can't even get it all out. Thomas, why did you shunt so many freight cars for Stanley? Stanley. His voice was just breath. It was just strained breathing. Thomas. So Thomas was in the doghouse, right? So, you know, for Topham Hatt you need to scold Thomas Trixie for putting all that fake crap onto your new person, Stanley. And really doing it despite you. Thomas, he did it because he wasn't happy about Stanley getting all the shine from Sir Topham Hatt, but he also did it despite Sir Topham Hatt. I'll show you, since you keep putting Stanley first in front of me, Trixie Thomas says to himself about Sir Topham Hatt you in regards to Sir Topham Hatt's fondness for Stanley. ST word, your ST person, Stanley. He did it to make Stanley look bad, create all these lies and illusions in the Trixie case, shunting too many freight cars in the Thomas case, and also did it to spite Sir Topham Hatt. Also, Thomas did this to spite Sir Topham Hatt. Trixie did this to spite you also. I'll show you. I'm going to make sure you don't get what God has for you. I'm going to conjure up spells and illusions and sex magic and love magic to make sure that you don't even believe that you like Stanley at all. That you believe that you really want me more so, right? And it's working, man. It's been working. But, you know, I've been giving these videos for like a year, training you up in the way that you should go. And I ain't your parent, but I'm just your friend here to help you. I'm here to help you. My job is to help. I always say, you did so great on so-and-so. Thank you. I'm happy to help. I've always said, hey, in any way you need me, I'm happy to help, because that's my role, is to be your help, right? So they did it despite Stanley and despite you. I'm gonna take over this thing. And Sir Topham Hatt won't even know what's going on. He'll think Stanley's the problem. But much to Thomas Trixie's chagrin, Sir Topham Hatt, you saw right through Thomas Trixie's foolishness eventually. Sir Topham Hatt thought he could trust Thomas. Thomas is in the Thomas world was a trustworthy engine. Trixie ain't no trustworthy nothing, because there's always lies and tricks, trickery, climbing. Trixie got a type. Whatever your occupation career path is, that's the type. And she'll get any of them that she can get in that career type so she can climb. And again, I say peep the patterns. Not just a pattern with you, because that's bad enough. But before you even stepped into the picture, go back, find out. You know people who knew Trixie when she was tricking. She's still tricking, but when she was tricking with them, you know of people who she was tricking on way back when in a whole nother state. Starts with a T and ends with an S, that state. All over the place. It's all over the place. Just if I don't get what I want, I'm going to blow up the whole spot. And that's the pattern. And while Trixie is twisting your arm behind your back or pinching you under your arm, like mothers might do at church. My mom never did it, but I used to hear about people say, you fall asleep, they pinching you. My grandmother, she never pinched anybody. She would just rub her arm real nice and soft, right? Like that across your arm. And you'd wake up. But nah, she doing that covert. Trixie doing that covert arm twisting, pinch and twist underneath your arm, right? Pulling you by your ear. You're going to take these pictures and look like you like it. And you look like you like it. Until she kept it on there a little too long. And you smiling while you're doing what she said to do. And as soon as you think the camera's off, you doing the... all these videos keep coming back out about Melania and how she looks after she gets sick of Donald. All smiles and then like, ugh. Same thing with you. There's one recently, yeah. At the end, you're like, ugh. So stop letting these people twist your arm and make you do stuff. They puppeting you, making you dance to jig. You better make this video with me. You better do this and do that. And then everybody's talking about the filter thing. I'm like, oh my gosh, what is the filter? Like they turned into cartoons at the end. Filter snapped right in. According to the Shade Room people. But I digress. Anyway, Thomas, Trixie. That's what you should be saying, Trixie. I'm gonna hurt my throat doing it. Let me take a sip. My mushroom coffee this morning. Trixie, why did you shut so many freight cars for Stanley, my ST person, to try to make them look bad in the eyes of others? Really, when it's all the things that you do that you say that they do. She's casting spell work and voodoo. That's what Trixie does, not your person. Your person is sent by God, not by the enemy. All right. All right. So you understand me? Stanley, Thomas, Trixie, the top of hat, you, me, and the Lord. I'm always spinning a story with understandings. If you follow the characters, you understand what the heck I'm talking about. And I do hope you understand. You understand.